Hello everyone and welcome to the PCSS Connection. I'm your host Buddy Pearson, the Communications and Marketing Supervisor. You know, we love getting to know our principals in the school system, and we wanted to get to know Renee Cantrell with Capshaw. And Renee, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So how long have you been the principal at Capshaw?
This is my third year at Capshaw Elementary.
Yeah. Well, what brought you to Capshaw to begin with? Was it being the principal?
It was.
Okay.
It was. I started off with Putnam County Schools. This is my 25th year,
Wow.
and I started at Parkview as a teacher for 20 years, and then I became assistant principal for 2 years, and then principal of Capshaw.
Now, what grades did you teach at Parkview?
I started off in first grade for 1 year, then went to kindergarten for 5, then went to third grade for 9,
Oh, wow.
back to kindergarten, and then assistant principal after that.
So second grade's the only grade that you didn't really teach.
Second and fourth.
Yeah. Well, you know, having taught those grades and now that you're a principal of, you know, of an elementary school, does that kind of give you a better perspective, you think, having been in the classroom?
I think it does. One of the things I really love is I piloted the Core Knowledge Amplify when I was a teacher.
Okay.
And then taught it for a few years, and that's what our teachers use now. So I feel like that helps when giving feedback to teachers and things like that. That really helps.
Yeah, and I would think that teachers are probably very receptive of somebody who's been in the classroom, who's done the things that they're doing.
I think so. I can only speak for our teachers, but I feel like they are constantly looking for how can I even get better than I am. So they're looking for that feedback.
Yeah, and you have young teachers coming in now, and I would think it's very important for them to be mentored and have somebody that can really help them and show them the ropes.
Definitely, and I can't say enough great things about our coaches. You know, our counties have given each school 2 coaches, a math and a reading coach, and they are wonderful. They're a huge resource that we use at our school.
Yeah. Now, did you always want to get into education? I mean, were you always wanting to be a teacher or be a principal?
Well, not a principal.
Just a teacher.
Just a teacher. I did want to teach. I had some amazing teachers in my educational career that inspired me. I moved to Cookeville when I was in 6th grade. When I started 6th grade, and I had Margaret Mayberry at Parkview. Wonderful, wonderful lady. It was a transitional period in my life. My parents got divorced. I moved 2 hours away.
Where were you?
Winchester, Tennessee.
Okay.
Very small little town. And so she just took me in and made me feel like part of her little classroom family. And I still remember that to this day, many, many years ago.
Wow, that's awesome.
And then as I went to Cookeville High School, and I had Joe Matheny, who was absolutely wonderful. He was my biology teacher and my driver's ed teacher. Bless his heart. He had a hard job there.
Yeah.
But he was amazing. He taught me the importance of building relationships with your students. He loved his students. He loved what he did, and inspired me to go into education.
And then at Parkview, you were probably mentored by another well-known
Yes, sir.
principal in the system.
Yes, I was assistant principal under Bobby Winningham for 2 years, and he's just a wonderful man. He always told our faculty and staff, put God first and family second, and then somewhere underneath there put your job. And people loved him for that because you always knew he respected your time with your family. And that's something that Miss Hillis and I try to do at Capshaw also.
Yeah. Now that you've been a principal for 3 years, what's some of the things that maybe you've had to deal with, or that you didn't really expect but kind of popped up on the radar?
Well, as assistant principal, I did a lot in the classrooms with the teachers and mentoring teachers and things. And what I didn't see behind closed doors with Mr. Winningham was all the building maintenance and all that kind of stuff. So that's been a learning experience for me.
So I'm sure that is kind of a learning on the job kind of thing.
It is. Kendra and I say we learn every single day together. She became assistant principal of Capshaw the same year I became principal. So we've kind of just learned together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you know, Capshaw is one of those schools that, you know, when you mention Putnam County schools, a lot of people mention Capshaw first because it's been so successful, and it's been just one of those that's been at the forefront academically. What is it about Capshaw that has made it so special?
Again, I just think our teachers, they're harder on themselves than anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're all the time looking for ways to get better and better and better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can't speak for it being different than any other school, because I think all of our teachers in Putnam County strive to be better.
Oh, yeah.
But I definitely think they build relationships with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. They greet them at their doors every single morning, just to start their day off with a smile and let the kids know they want them there, if they miss them when they're not there. But I think that's the big thing, building relationships, and then just constantly looking for how can we do better.
Yeah. And I know that there's things that come up every day. I'll just tell you, in the last week, we've had several things come up when, and in this day and time, let's just say that if you don't know what we're talking about, there was an incident a couple of days ago where somebody saw somebody taking a gun out of a car, thought it was at Capshaw, and so immediately called the authorities, which we're so glad they did.
Yes.
The authorities come to Capshaw thinking that there's somebody there with a gun. Mm-hmm. Then they go to Avery Trace and come to find out it was no threat at all. It was just a big misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. But as a principal, I mean, it seems like you always have to be aware, on the lookout of things like that.
You do. You constantly have to think about those things. And then after things like that happen, then you have to come back together and say, okay, what could we have done different?
Yeah.
Or,
Right.
how could we grow from this situation, which is kind of what we did today.
Yeah.
But the Putnam County Sheriff's Department responded very quickly, and we definitely felt their support yesterday.
Yeah. You see kids today, are they any different than the kids that you were teaching 20 years ago?
I definitely think things change. I think technology is a huge change than what we had 20 years ago. My first year teaching, I got the little Mac computer that was purple, and I had one in my classroom and thought I was so special, and nowadays you walk into a classroom and there's technology everywhere. So definitely very different.
Yeah. But the concept, I would think, is the same. It's all about learning. It's all about teaching and learning.
It is. It's in building those relationships.
Yeah. Building those relationships, very, very important. We'll talk about your relationships as far as, your family. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay. I'm married to David Cantrell. He was an SRO officer up until last year at Parkview Elementary and Cookville High School prior to that. Mm-hmm. We'll have been married 25 years in March.
Wow.
So,
congratulations.
Yes. And I have two kids, a daughter that will be 23 in May, Carly, and she just recently moved to Florida. So she's kind of starting her life, but we're hoping life will bring her back here. But until then, I have a place for breaks to go visit. And then I have a son, Carter, and he goes to Tennessee Tech.
Awesome.
So, and he'll be 21 in March.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I don't have littles anymore.
No more. I know. When they grow up and they move out, and then it's like, what do we do now?
Yes.
Yeah. But you've got a lot of littles every day.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
So what do you do in your spare time? What do you like to do when you're not being a principal at Capshaw?
My family loves the outdoors. We love being outdoors. We love going to the beach. The beach is kind of our happy place.
Yeah.
My husband has a Jeep, so we love getting out. We have a local Jeep club. We love getting out and doing things with them and just taking the top off the Jeep in the summertime and just getting out and riding back roads. So
that's awesome. Well, I know there are a lot of local businesses in our community who love to partner with our schools, and you have something coming up. It actually got snowed out. We were going to have an adoption ceremony for Capshaw, and we had one of those snow days, one of those 8 snow days, and so have they rescheduled that?
We have not rescheduled yet. It's still a work in progress. Lots of moving factors and getting our judge and that kind of thing, but hopefully within the next month or so, we'll get that rescheduled.
But you've got some new adopters.
I do. We have 5 new adopters.
Really?
So it's going to be a big adoption ceremony. It's my first one at Capshaw, so we're really excited about that. We have Country Financial with Buddy Johnson, Henry Fincher, attorney at law, Randy Fincher, event planning, Westside Dental, and Wilson Bank and Trust.
Well, those adoption ceremonies are great because last fall we had Baxter Primary, we did Algood Middle, and we also did White Plains Academy. So you were next on the docket until Snowmageddon hit and we were out. Speaking of snow days, as a principal, how do you love snow days?
Oh, I love snow days. There's never a bad snow day. Obviously we think of our students and hope that they are home safe and have food and things like that. That does cross our minds. But we love snow days. I get caught up on a lot of work usually on those days.
Yeah. A lot of movies, a lot of reading, a lot of snacking, all the good things that come with snow days.
Mr. King, we work on snow days too.
That's right. Got to throw that in there.
Yes.
All right. Well, Renee Cantrell, the principal at Capshaw, thank you so much for being with us. And we're so honored to be able to have you at Capshaw doing what you do. And I know those students really appreciate what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. And we love to brag on our students, especially those that are smart, like this young man right here. His name is Andrew Davis, and he is a speech-making extraordinaire. Andrew, welcome to the PCSS Connection podcast. Hey, where do you go to school?
I go to Prescott Middle School.
All right. What grade are you in?
I'm in 6th grade.
So you were competing in the 4-H speech competition. How did you get involved in that?
Well, in 4th grade, everybody has to do a 4-H speech. So when I did my 4-H speech, after doing it for a couple of years, I realized that I really liked it.
Now, do you remember what your 4-H speech was in 4th grade?
Not really.
That's all right. Question is, do you remember what you spoke about just a few weeks ago to win the sub-regional competition?
Yes.
What was your subject matter?
Well, it was about the individuals in America and how one individual can have the power to achieve great things. And also how the individuals that I talked about connected to 4-H in their beginnings. They had 4-H.
Yeah, and they had an impact.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So how did you get to the point where you were competing in 11 counties against 22 folks in that sub-regional? Did you have something that you had to win before you went there?
Yeah, I had county, but before that was classroom.
Okay.
So
it started at Prescott Middle School.
Yes.
And then it went to a county tournament. Now, did you win that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you went to the sub-regional and you won that. So you're a pretty good speaker.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Well, I stop.
Okay. That's it? You can't, there's nowhere further to go?
For me.
Yeah.
But other kids, there's another kid from Putnam County, and they just went to nationals.
Oh, really? That's awesome. So there is a national competition.
Yes.
Would you like to be in the national competition?
Yes.
Can you be in the national competition? Can you go?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you have to be a certain age?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I teach a public speaking class at Tennessee Tech, and there are college students that just hate to get up and speak. How is it that you're able to do that and do it so well?
Well, I just realized that it's fun to me, and I can just stand up there and do it.
Yeah. Now, what's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject is probably science.
Science. What do you want to do when you grow up?
Become a scientist.
Become a scientist. Is there anything in particular that you want to cover when you're doing science? I mean, is there something that you're really wanting to study particularly?
No, not really.
Just science in general? Yeah. Cool. Is there, you want to invent anything or?
Yeah, maybe.
That's awesome. All right. Well, besides being a good speaker, what's some of the other things that you like to do?
Well, I like to play Legos, and I like to tinker with the gears that I have. Mm-hmm. I also am in Boy Scouts.
Nice. So Boy Scouts really kind of makes you well-rounded because you get to do a lot of different things in Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you like any sports?
I do archery.
You do archery. Oh, that's cool. Wow, you are a well-rounded young man, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, well, congratulations, and can you maybe just tell us a little bit about your speech, how you opened it, and maybe kind of go into it a little bit?
Well,
can you remember, did you need your cards?
Why don't you tell about the people?
Well, the people, Orville Redenbacher originally sold popcorn to raise money for his 4-H club.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Orville Redenbacher. I love his popcorn. So he was in 4-H?
Yes.
Wow. Who else was in 4-H?
Carla Hall, the famous chef from Nashville, she credited self-confidence from 4-H.
Wow. So was 4-H something that started in your school? Is that how you got involved?
Yes.
Yeah. And you were in the 4th grade when you first got involved?
Yes.
Now, how long, I guess you can be involved pretty much throughout your middle school career. Mm-hmm. Do you go to 4-H camp?
No, I haven't.
Okay. My daughter used to go to 4-H camp. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. You should tell your mom. Maybe she'll send you. All right, Andrew, anything else you want to add?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, man, thanks for being with us. As we said before, we love to brag on our students, especially the smart ones, the ones who can speak so well. We have another 4-H speech contest winner with us, Boston McCaleb. Boston, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So, Boston, where do you go to school?
Algood Middle School.
Algood Middle School. And what grade are you in?
5th.
5th. So, how did you get involved in 4-H?
It was this thing we had to do first. Like, it was like a grade that we had to do for school. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of didn't want to get a bad grade, so I just did it.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Now, how did you get involved in the speech contest? What made you want to do that?
Just thinking about if I did win, I could go on. And if I didn't, it was okay, but I still like to win.
She likes to win. Of course you do. So it started out as a school competition, right? Mm-hmm. And then it went to county competition. Yep. And then it went to the region.
Yep.
So how did you do in the county competition?
I won, obviously.
You won.
But there was a lot more people there, mm-hmm. and more kids were like kind of stuttering, but I was like the second one, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
And then you got to the regional and you won the region.
Yeah, that one was definitely like scary. I went a lot faster than I thought I would go, but it's okay.
So did you get a little nervous?
Yeah, stage fright.
So what was your speech about?
ASL.
Well, what about ASL?
ASL and how it started, and like why like some reasons like why I wanted to do ASL. I have a little cousin, his name is Brighton, and he's autistic and mostly nonverbal, and I use that from my speech, but me and him just kind of connected when I started using sign language, because now we do like ball, cookie, and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what is your favorite class in school? What's your favorite subject?
Science with Miss Teeters.
Science?
Yeah, she's the best teacher.
Yeah. So what do you want to do with science? Is there something, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Right now we're learning about fossils, so I probably want to probably be a paleontologist, I'm pretty sure they're called.
I can't even spell paleontologist. I mean, what's a paleontologist?
They're the ones that like study the fossils.
Yeah.
And
not an archaeologist, but a paleontologist.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty smart young lady.
Thank you.
So do you like speaking in public?
I have to say, not really. I'm a lot shyer. My dad is definitely the one that likes to talk a lot with my mom. They're both like the time in public.
So are you going to keep on doing the speech contest as long as you can?
Yeah.
Yeah. You looking forward to it next year?
Yeah.
Awesome. You know, I heard that there was like a national 4-H speech competition. You should look at doing that.
Yeah, I probably will, because like I said, I want to win.
Yeah.
I just like winning.
So what do you do when you're not doing 4-H, and you're not winning speech competitions? What do you like to do outside of school?
Softball, basketball. I like playing a lot with my brother, and spending time with my cousin and my grandma.
All right. So do you play sports at Algood?
Yeah.
You're on the softball team?
Yep.
Oh, awesome. Okay, great. What else? Anything else you want to add in there, throw in there? Did I miss anything? No, we covered everything?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Boston McCaleb with us, the reigning 4-H, the girls 4-H speech champion of the region. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And there is a new principal at White Plains Academy, and that is Ben Herron, who takes over for JoJo Matheny. JoJo Matheny left because of a medical leave, and Ben is taking over. Ben, you've been around the Putnam County school system for a while. Now you're the main man at White Plains Academy, and how does it feel to be a principal?
It feels great. It's not that I'm kind of used to as a assistant principal. You try to, learn those roles and try to, get as much experience and everything you can, and hopefully it translates over to, the job when you get promoted. So I don't know if you're ever ready until you just kind of get in there and do it. So,
well, it was kind of a whirlwind thing. I know when Mr. Matheny turned in his medical leave, and then somebody had to fill in. Now you've been there for a few weeks now, and how's that been going?
It's been going well. Just trying to get adapted to the building, just see how things run and work, and build relationships with kids and teachers, and just try to figure out the ins and outs, the daily grind of what happens to make it run successful, and to see where we can make improvements, moving into next year, or the things you want to keep the same, and just try to, I've met with every faculty member already, had a chance to get input from them, and so just try to listen and be a good listener and a good watcher, and just feel your way through it.
Yeah, and we had Jojo Matheny on back when we first started the podcast. I think he was back in August, and he was telling us a little bit about White Plains Academy, and it's different than our other schools. You never know kind of what your enrollment's going to be, and it could change quite a bit. You never know really where your students are going to come from.
Sure. Yeah, it changes weekly. We've been having about 3 to 5 intakes a week, and they, like you said, they come from everywhere. We have ages from first grade, I think right now is our smallest, all the way up to 12th grade. So we have a wide range, and it's challenging at times to meet the academic needs of what we need to do. But our teachers really dig in, and they care about the kids, and work really hard to try to give them the best education they can.
You were the assistant principal at Algood Middle School. Now, how long were you there?
I was starting my 5th year this year, so
okay,
almost 5.5.
Wow,
4.5, I guess, 4.5. So,
and where were you before that?
Before that, I was a special ed teacher at Upperman High School and Upperman Middle School. I split time doing that. I did that 1 year where I didn't coach, and then I was the of course head football coach at Upperman High School for 7 years. So yeah.
Yeah, hard to believe it. It's been
a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Speaking of Upperman football, we saw them make it to the championship game this year, and I know when some of the players and Coach Kane came before the school board and they were being recognized, that one of the things Coach Kane did was he kind of called you out and he's thanked you for kind of establishing that foundation, a winning tradition there.
I hate that. That's all I like it to be on the kids, focus on the kids. That's all they did. Going to being AD at Algood and doing that, and going to games so much. I didn't go to a lot of games on Friday nights just because it was kind of nice to have my nights back. But I did go to watch a half. I watched them play Stone for a half, and they played really well that night. I looked at my buddy Ben Rogers, and I said, this team's really good. It's the most athletic team I've ever seen Upperman field. He had a really good team, and I wasn't surprised at all their success, and proud of them. It makes you feel good to see that you left something hopefully better than when you got it, and I'm glad to see that Coach Kane has took to another level than I could, and I'm proud of the kids in the community.
Sure. Now, how long have you been in education?
I've started my 21st year. I actually I got hired in Gainesboro, Jackson County High School in December of 2003.
Oh, wow.
So I actually started that last week of school, so I actually got 100 days in. So it counted toward my pay, but it didn't count toward my year's experience. So I actually started my year rolling it in 21st years in January. So, yeah.
Now, did you always know that you wanted to go into education?
I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Just always had a love for coaching, and that's kind of what drove me into that. And I got into coaching through Rob Edwards, who's now the Clay County boys coach. He was at Fox Middle School, and he got tasked with coaching football, and he didn't know anything about football. He'll tell you that. And so he called my brother. Him and my brother were best friends, and he said, "Hey, would your brother Ben want to come coach?" So I went down there and helped him, and that's kind of where I got started. And then I just didn't really know what I wanted to do in college. I think I was maybe a freshman or sophomore when that was. So I've been doing it a long time. 20 years and doing that too. So very thankful for that opportunity and where it's led me. And I've tried a couple times maybe to do something different. It seems like the good Lord always brings you back to education. And so I just figured I better quit fighting and just.
White Plains going to start a football team?
We will not. We will not have any athletics. So I guess that's one of the perks of the job, not having the after school stuff. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where'd you go to college?
I finished all 3 of my degrees at Tennessee Tech.
Okay.
So I have an undergrad in secondary education biology with a geology and endorsement. And then I went and finished my master's in special education, and then I went ahead and did my EDS in instructional leadership. Mm-hmm. So did that. I just went all the way from kindergarten all the way through. So I did it all. So 2007 I graduated my last degree, and I don't want to write any more papers, so I'm not going to look at a doctor or anything. So.
Now, so you were kind of doing some coaching when you were at Tennessee Tech. You were doing Fox Middle School then?
Yeah. That's kind of, I did that, subbed a little through on the days I didn't, set my class schedules and things. So very fortunate to be in the school system before even doing student teaching and things. Did my student teaching in Monterey for a half a year in 2003.
Okay.
Did a 9 weeks up there with Miss Cindy Taylor.
Yeah.
In biology, did that. I helped Mr. Covington for a little bit. He was a basketball coach.
Yes, Lloyd Covington.
Yep. So did that, and then I ended up going to White County Middle School. So I wanted to do it at different places where I haven't been, like I had ties to, just because, just to be different. But both experiences were great, both places.
Now, where'd you grow up? Where'd you spend your high school days?
Upperman.
Okay.
Played at Upperman.
So you
graduated.
played
Yep, 98. Graduated 98. Was fortunate to play on some good teams. Had good educators, good teachers growing up, and just saw one yesterday actually on the snow day. So Miss Butner. So give her a little shout out there. But she was fabulous. Just had a lot of good teachers and a lot of good coaches, a lot of good influences in my life. So
homegrown.
Yep, something like that.
Well, do you think you'll ever get the itch to coach again?
I don't think so. I think I've enjoyed my time with my daughter. She's a freshman right now, and she's into golf a lot. So we try to get out and practice and play a lot. And she just enjoy spending my time with her and just getting to do that and and just getting to go and I don't miss it. I do miss the scheming, the relationship with kids, the difference you can make as a coach. I feel like coaches make a lot of difference. I know teachers do too, but you can really make an impact because you're kind of in a different lot.
Right.
I do miss that part of it, but the grind, the workouts, and the stress, the time, and it's hard. I mean, we talk about a lot of that. That was one of the big reasons for me stepping away was to just my daughter was getting older and just time.
Yeah. So she plays golf at Upperman High School.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course you got to be there, to help and, do those things on the range.
Yeah, we got to do that. And I, it frees me up to maybe sometimes get to go and watch her when, school's going on. They play a lot of the tournaments during school day. So I get to, try to use my days to do that. And, she likes me to be there and we play, and we've already started scheduling tournaments for spring. So on the weekends. So she likes it. It's something, if she gets extra out of it, that's great. But if not, it's something she can do as lifelong, something she can play. And,
right.
And I told her, I said, Miley, you're terrible at basketball, so we got to quit playing basketball. I said, let's take all our energy and put it in golf.
Yeah.
And, probably going to think, well, you're awful, but we try to keep it real around the house, and
just being honest.
Yeah, don't need to waste our time or try to invest our time in something we're good at. So,
well, going back to White Plains Academy, you have been filling in. Is that, you feel like that's a position that you want to be there, that you're looking to be there for a while? Yeah,
I love it. I actually love it there. The first few weeks I've been there, we've had some challenging days. Today was a challenging day.
Yeah.
Tuesday was a little bit challenging, but it's those are my people. I was a tracks teacher before. I've been special ed teacher, like I said, for 17 years. It's people I deal with, and I feel like it's a calling you want to do. I enjoy those kids. I enjoy working with them. I feel like they need some love, but they also need some tough love sometimes.
Sure.
So I feel like that's right down my alley sometimes. So just enjoying it. Just the more I learn, the better I'll get. So just really like it there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even think you were on the job a week when you got showed some love with an adoption ceremony, with having some new adopters come over to White Plains Academy. Yeah. How important is it to have those adopters?
Oh, it's great. It's such a benefit, especially at our school. Because the adopters we get, they're not just usually monetary adopters. They come in and they actually get hands on with the kids and help financially, but also help wanting to meet and mentor and a lot for our kids. That's huge, and they really appreciate that, and they see that community coming in there and reaching out and supporting them. So luckily in the ceremony, I had one at Algood Middle right before that. So I kind of had a little idea.
That's right. You had two adoption ceremonies so far.
Had a little idea about how that was going to go. So, but very thankful for, our most recent adopters, Ms. Skinner Newton and the Realty Company and Algood Pharmacy. So really thankful for them and all of our adopters.
Yeah.
So they all really pitch in, and even have some private adopters that just, don't want to be named and do. And there's a lot of love in that school, and we're appreciative for it.
Awesome. Well, you're doing a great job, and I'm sure Mr. King is happy to be able to put somebody like you into that position when it was needed. So White Plains Academy, very, very fortunate to have Ben Herron as their principal.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
And thanks for being with us here on the podcast.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right. That's going to do it for this week. For Ben Herron, I'm Buddy Pearson. This has been the PCS Connection podcast. We'll see you next week. God bless.